Right, go ahead.
Findings on Mad Hatter's disease. A slide presentation by Andrew Urbane, Aidan Grum, and Brogan Maher. What is Mad Hatter's disease? Many people may not know about it, but it's a disease that is a form of mercury poisoning that affects the brain and nervous system. It is a slow killer. Mad Hatter's disease is caused by chronic mercury poisoning. It is characterized by emotional, mental, and behavioral changes, among other symptoms. Mercury is also a neurotoxin and can cause neurological damage that leads to hallucinations and psychosis. The areas of the body that it can damage are the nervous system, stomach, kidneys, skin, thyroid, muscles, liver, adrenal glands, and the prostate.
Many people have been affected by Mad Hatter's disease in history since the 1500s, and the main people that got it were people who made hats or hatters, and they would go crazy, hence the name Mad Hatter's disease. It was mainly caused by inhaling mercury vapors, and hatters used it to make felt feel softer. So they would be dealing with mercury all day. It was their job. They would get it on their hands, and they would breathe in the vapors, which was the most significant way to get it back in the 1800s, and it mainly affected men under 30. And the first reported death of mercury poisoning was in 1865, but the substance was discovered in the early 1800s. There were many deadly and life-changing symptoms to Mad Hatter's disease. And then there's a lot of early and late symptoms of mercury poisoning, depending on the level of exposure and the neurological changes that characterize Mad Hatter's disease occur after long-term exposure. So short-term exposure wouldn't give many neurological effects. The early symptoms of Mad Hatter's disease are rashes, itchiness, muscle pains, metallic taste in the mouth, sores or inflammation in the mouth, vomiting, stomach pain, diarrhea, sleep disturbances, wet cough, and many more just like it. The late symptoms were mainly neurological symptoms and psychological symptoms, and they include irritability, lack of patience, shyness, desire to avoid people, anxiety, insomnia, a tremor that begins in the hands and affects the face and head, trouble thinking or concentrating, memory loss, changes in movement, which may become coarse, jerky, and many people became uncoordinated and even lost the ability to walk.
How it was resolved. In the U.S. in 1941, we banned the use of mercury in felt hats, which was the main way of getting the disease. And finally, in 2008, the U.S. banned mercury across all fields. There are not many treatments to this day to help cure mercury's disease and treat it, but the main three are oxygen, fluids, and there's a drugs that assist with breathing more. To sum it up, this was all mainly the result of mercury poisoning in the hat making industry. It got its name because the hat makers tended to get the disease because they worked with mercury so much to smoothen the felt. This was a slow-moving disease, but it attacked the nervous system heavily.
All right, is that it?